This is our block definition diagram for our retirement tool. At the head of the chart is the actual function, which is to find the retirement value for a given career plan. Under the main function are three sum functions, which are data, input, and lists. Data is all the information that will be gathered from both military and civilian jobs, which include compensation and benefits. For the military career, compensation will include BAH, which will be based off of location and rank, BAS, and pay. Benefits will also include the GI Bill, the provided health insurance, and finally both the old and new retirement plans. Under the civilian career, compensation will be basic pay, while benefits may include a company car, health insurance, as well as the company's retirement plan. Next is input, which will only include selecting the old or new military retirement plan, time in the military versus civilian world, location, and what the civilian job will be after time in the military is served. Lists necessary for this system include time in the military, which will include data for the old and new retirement plans, and finally time as a civilian. These lists are necessary as length of time for a specific job will increase both compensation and benefits as described before. This is our retirement tool requirement diagram. This chart is meant to indicate the desired functions on the Excel file that we will be forming this week. At the head of the chart is the overall desired function, which is for the system to act as a retirement tool by calculating the worth of a soldier's retirement plan. Underneath the main function are three main functions for the system, which is to look up scores, perform calculations, and to display the final results. In order to look up scores or values for a retirement plan, the system will need to look up compensation and benefit information for possible civilian jobs. Similarly, it will need to be able to look up benefits, compensation, and the old and new retirement plan information. Finally, it will need to be able to look up how time will affect the retirement plans for both military and civilian jobs. The next main function, calculations, indicates that the system will be able to calculate the worth of a soldier's retirement plan based on the lookup values. The final main function is to display the value. After the system calculates the value of a retirement plan, the system shall display that value in table format. This is our retirement tool sequence diagram. This diagram indicates the interactions between each function and subfunction. The first three arrows stem from lists and goes to user interface, indicating that the lists will provide interactions with the user interface by providing information for the system to actually function. Next, the arrows labeled old, new retirement plan, time in military and civilian jobs, location, and the civilian job that the soldier will have after military service indicate that the input from the user is a direct interaction with the user interface. Next, those inputs take information from the list provided earlier and collect data from the system's data tables. Once the data is collected, the system's data tables will provide compensation and benefits value back to the user interface, which will then internally calculate the final retirement value. Once this is completed, the user interface will provide the user with the final total score or retirement value.